We could check out the Phlox? I'm going to go with Phlox. The Phlox Labs video. This could be fun. I'd love for you to watch Ludwig's Tip to Tip China, just episode 1. Maybe check it out. I don't know. Yeah, we'll check this out.
I tried doing that.
Auto goddamn playing video when I go full screen. I don't know about this channel. I've never watched any of their stuff. But, yeah. I like the model. That's what I was saying. I like the model. Bro, did you watch MGS1 Big Chungus cutscene? No, no, I don't. I don't know what that is.
I tried doing the thing that every social media expert tells you to do. I posted every day.
That's what I've been doing for the past 5 years. Probably longer.
Just for a week or a month, but 3 months. And this is what happened.
Wow.
Obviously, big number mean good, right? I'd call it a success, but I have major...
Oh, speaking of that, I got another fucking viral tweet yesterday. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Holy! I muted the notifications because it was getting a bit too much. So, the UK government, they have decided to, ban people from ever smoking if they were born after January 1st, 2009. So you could be, let's say it's 2049. You could be 40 years old and they'll still like ask for your ID if you want to buy cigarettes. I said, let me give you a story about Australia. We have incredibly high tax on cigarettes. We also have cancer images on the boxes. What I've noticed in the past year or two is complete lack of Australian cigarette boxes on the ground, instead being replaced with imports. Australia's created a giant black market for imported cigarettes because they're way cheaper and have more variety, and of course, they don't really care who is buying them. Every time one of these legal shops is shut down, other 5 of them pop up. Anyone who is smoking at this point is fully aware that these shops exist. From what I can tell, most of the legal cigarette purchases are being made out of convenience. When the chance arises, people would prefer going to the legal shops, or as a friend that does. This top post got fucking 3.2 million views. Jesus fucking Christ. I talk about Linux, I talk about tech, no one gives a shit. I start a fucking trademark war in Japan, 2 million views. I talk about cigarettes, 3 million views. What a fucking website, man. What a good time to ditch cigarettes for other... Exactly. Ditch cigarettes and start using fentanyl. That's a joke, of course. Don't do that. That would be very fucking bad.
Prices have been insane.
Oh, wait, wrong video. Where's the video? This one. There's the video.
Scheduling problems, mental and physical health issues, and a full-time job. So how exactly did I manage doing this? What kind of statistics resulted from it? And more importantly, what did I learn and how can you apply that on your own journey? So if you're new here, hi, I'm Floxness Bollier. I'm a VTuber that plays games and does tutorials. And this is technically a tutorial.
Wait, what was that game?
I'm a VTuber that plays games and does tutorials.
What is that? Have I played that? Looks somewhat familiar. I don't know what this game is. I don't think I've played it. Have I? Anyway, not important.
Tutorials, and this is technically a tutorial, like, in its own way, right? Yeah, let's go with that. While I obviously do social media, as in I participate in it, I don't post often. Certainly not every day. And because of that, the things I make usually die in the algorithm. I knew I needed to post more, but I also felt like I saw garbage content going viral daily. And I built up this complex that...
Speaking of garbage content, let's bring the tweet back!
Even if I made garbage, I'd eventually go viral randomly, right? But that never happened. And I assumed it was just because my videos were so shit that they didn't even meet the shitty viral content criteria.
What do you think I'm going to say to you?
No.
Correct. Goodbye.
But at a certain point, I got wondering, am I really that shit? Or am I just missing something here? Naturally, I watched a few videos on social media and found that they almost all give you the same set of information. One.
Do you know why? Because half of them exist to sell you the same course, because a lot of the social media channels that exist are part of a pyramid scheme.
if you don't know, there is a big problem with pyramid schemes online. People will buy these courses that cost like $7,000, and then the way they make their money back is by selling more courses and then getting a cut of the revenue. And the people that buy the courses, they end up having to bring more people in, and it just expands out in a pyramid. So most of the people that are saying, how do I build social media? They've never actually built it. If somebody's like, oh, well, this is how you build a channel, and they have 500 subs, they don't know how to build a channel because they have 500 subs.
I love anyone who does, like, think about it like this, right? Would you, if you were watching, like, let's say a video on how to do a certain kind of lift, for example, like, weightlifting, and the guy looks like me, would you take that person more seriously over, yeah, here we go. If I'm gonna show you how to, if you want to learn how to lift, who are we taking more seriously? Me or this guy? Because the answer is probably going to be this guy.
One, you don't post enough. Two, you need to pick a niche. And three,
Yeah, they also say the ones that are not selling courses just say the most generic bullshit. Oh, you gotta post more, pick a niche.
you are, in fact, as
Very possibly also shit. I've seen someone claim they know how to make VTubers blow up, and the VTubers he worked with just keep spamming reaction content. Yeah. Well, the strat that most VTubers use, like, the VTuber space is, it exists in YouTube of 2026 with strategies from 2006, basically. A lot of the channels, basically what they do is just post content and then never do anything else. Even that, sometimes they just barely do that. Like, it'll be they stream once or twice a week and then do absolutely nothing else. A lot of people rely on fan clippers and don't do their own clipping. Fan clippers are fine if you already have an audience or you luck into, making a fan clipper like you. But you've got to be the fan clipper. And I've seen people be like, oh, but I don't know how to clip my content because when I try to clip it, none of it looks interesting. Yeah. Do you know why?
Because you're probably fucking boring.
If you can't find any moments in your stream that you think are entertaining, that's a skill issue. You missed the channel language. You don't speak English, you're cooked. Yes and no. There are certain other languages that do have audiences which exist. Brazilian if you're making stuff like a Brazilian audience, absolutely you can still make a channel that works. A Japanese audience, oh, you know what? I think that's basically it, actually. Maybe, I'm gonna say within the next 5 or so years, possibly if you're making content for an Indian audience. But a lot of people that are making content online from India also speak English, so, yeah. I don't know about German YouTube. I'm not sure about German YouTube. The thing about a lot of people in Germany and France, though, is a lot of them know English, right? So if you're going to make content from Germany or from France, does it make sense to make it in French or make it in English? If you know English, English is going to be a larger audience. So it's a challenge. Unless you're specifically doing language content, and that's a whole different thing.
expected. But the problem with these videos is that they seem to be basing the measurement off of you becoming some extremely viral Mr. Beast mini-me. And
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, oh, they all rely on you getting like a 10 million view video, and that's gonna be what sets your channel off. And most people don't do that. Indian content is mostly tech tips. Yeah. Yeah. You get some engineering content. Well, here's something that's changed recently. With the whole AI voice synthesis stuff, there is a lot more people that may not be competent at English. They might know English, and they might be able to, like, verify it, but they don't feel comfortable speaking in English, and can produce content in English even though it is not their native language.
Not based off of, I don't know, like maybe just having an extra $200 for groceries or something like that. And that's sort of my goal personally. Now, fixing all three of those things is gonna be rough because you can't just become less terrible at making videos without
You can no, I very much disagree on that. That is the one thing you can absolutely do. The way you do that is watch back your content, watch other content, look at why does other content work? What do you enjoy about somebody else's style? And I don't mean just like clone some big creator, but look at what other people are doing and understand what about their style is interesting to you. Do they get to the point quicker? Do they have some interesting way of addressing some sort of topic? Do they provide something that gets you watching the material? Now, sometimes that might not work for you, right? If the thing that appeals to you is they are a big titty VTuber that has a sexy voice, now that might not be possible. But you have to understand what else is going on in your niche, and not just that, what gaps are missing.
without first just being terrible at making videos. And I'm not gonna commit to a niche, like, straight up. I enjoy too many things. That's why.
When people say niche, there are, like, you can go hyper extreme, right? Where you make Python tutorials. But, and yes, you are right there. When I started my channel, I was a Luke Smith clone. But I developed a style expanding from that. But when we say niche, they don't necessarily mean, oh, you have to talk about one specific thing. Great example, actually. I like her channel. She does good stuff. We've watched some of her videos before. Let me go to Yuffie's channel. How the hell is she doing now? 65k. Wow, she's actually doing pretty good. Yuffie has a great channel. Most of what she talks about is like old tech and sort of games, old tech, and other things like this, where it's not just like one little thing where it's like, you know, you could make a whole niche about like iPod modding or about old cameras, but that's gonna bore you pretty quickly. There's a core niche, and then there's related things surrounding that, which all sort of link together. Because a lot of people, they don't just enjoy one thing, right? If you enjoy Linux content, it's very likely you enjoy tech content, and maybe you enjoy, you branch off in a different direction. If you like Linux, there's a high probability you maybe enjoy anime as well. So even though that's a bit weaker of a connection, you can branch off in that side as well.
I already have two
Also, just you can make several channels. That's also true.
main channels. I don't need to make another channel. I enjoy too many things. That's why I already have two main channels. I don't need
Only two? Step up your game.
to make another channel. However, posting more, hey, I could probably do that. But I have a few challenges to deal with, those being my job and my health. With those things considered,
needs that?
I still managed to post every day for 3 months. Let me give you my plan, and I will explain why it worked for me specifically. With work taking up the bulk of my week and my mental health and physical health causing random disruptions throughout my week as well, the only surefire time I could work around this was the weekend. And so I decided that my Sunday would be a non-negotiable work day. No friends, no family, no chores, just social media
Oh, that's just my normal life anyway.
stuff. I would write scripts, record, edit, make thumbnails, write descriptions, and do everything that I needed to do for that entire week's worth of posting. And I know that sounds rough, but for me personally, I
My
can't
life.
sit down and handle this
My life.
workload most of the time in one sitting, probably because I have undiagnosed autism or like
Because on your channel, Brodie, most people watch you because of Linux, but sometimes you make videos regarding general software development and programming topics without prior explanation for non-programmers. my general assumption is if you're watching my channel, you probably have some general background knowledge in software development and programming topics. And usually if there is some, like... Here's what I say. My general assumption is if you're watching my channel, you've probably done, like, a Programming 101 course. That's, like, my general assumption. And now there's going to be exceptions, absolutely. But that's the sort of mindset I approach it from. Anything higher than that level, I try to explain. Sometimes I miss things, but that's, like, usually the way I try to approach it.
Some other neurospicy disorder. But occasionally, I knew my terrible allergies, wrist pain, and my mental health would disrupt any sort of schedule. So
April Fool's an exception. April Fool's, I will fuck around and do whatever. I assume you know. I don't care what you know for April Fool's. I'm just gonna upload it.
Sunday disruption due to unforeseen circumstances, even if I avoid scheduling conflicts, was inevitable. And that's why I left all of my evenings during the week open. Therefore, if I had spare time during the week, that could go towards other projects, like streaming, long-form video editing, and other posts like on Twitter or Blue Sky. And if I got behind on a Sunday, I could use that time to catch up instead of working on random other things. It's extremely crucial for me to plan for this kind of disruption and not for perfection, especially because messing up on my goals will make me feel twice as bad and ruin my productivity.
Welcome to my life. I have a schedule. I work to my schedule. If I do not meet my schedule, it's not a pleasant time. I found a channel because I found Luke Smith and got me. I do. There are some software review videos I have in store. There's 2 things I've got planned for next week. There's some other things I have in the queue as well. It's just when it's software stuff, usually it's not as time sensitive, so it can kind of upload whenever. And the problem with being able to upload whenever is it then gets pushed further and further down the list.
So having the main goal with some small
script edit and schedule 7 short form content videos on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Wow, Facebook? Crazy. Side goals, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads post. Thread? Why the Okay, we have found the one Threads user. YouTube community posts. I don't do those as much as I should. Long form content, streaming once or twice a week. Zen browser, never. Wouldn't it be funny if I did a video on Opera before I did the video on Zen? I actually have wanted to do the Opera video.
Smaller, less serious goals made this process very forgiving. Alright, so once you have your videos edited, just get up and post them at the same time every day, right? No. No. Didn't you hear me earlier about the Mentos illness?
Just schedule them. Just schedule them.
I'm never gonna remember to do that. If I set a reminder, I'll become numb to it eventually, so I actually just schedule everything out on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, just schedule it. I don't know what time zone she's in. I don't know if it says. Let's find out. Usually VTubers don't include that. She's in the United States? Okay. I usually schedule my videos around, like, end of the day US time, which is like 3 in the morning for me, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to schedule.
Sunday as well.
I bet Mastodon's more popular than Threads. I don't know, but I think very possibly.
And that's the trick to posting every day. I don't. The computer does it for me.
Yeah.
But what were the results of that? Well, I showed you at the beginning. I got lots of views and follows. Yippee! Let's get into the actual statistics, though. Since I posted so much, I actually have some pretty cool data on how certain topics did, what did the best for my channel, so on. Yeah, I got some graphs, or whatever. Just a few graphs, you know. Disclaimer, though, remember how I mentioned not wanting to have a niche? I stand by that. I don't want one. So I just said, fuck it. You know, I'm just gonna post whatever. And the whateverness of my videos can be split up into about 5 categories, and although they're adjacent, they are definitely not all in the same realm. Those categories were clips from my Twitch streams, acted out audios from trends, original animations or like trending animations, art time lapses, basically just art stuff, tutorials on VTubing and streaming stuff, and lastly, original scripted content that was usually about myself or my VTuber, something like that. And this is how everything did overall, by category in terms of total views.
Oh, Wait.
something like that. And this is how everything did overall by category in terms
TikTok audit. Yeah. Okay. The thing with TikTok though, TikTok engagement isn't real. Well, it's real, but it doesn't tend to convert into actual viewers. A lot of people that use TikTok will they will watch your video if it goes to their feed, but they typically don't become viewers of your content. So it's hard to sort of focus on TikTok being such a big platform, even though this does happen. And like like numbers like this are big on, like, are good numbers on YouTube. On TikTok, it's basically nothing.
of total views. And by platform, it looks like Instagram did the best overall, like in terms of views, but I can show you that for IQR, or interquartile range, which is kind of like a median value, it seems like my tutorial videos do great.
The reason for that is they are very general. Art is a very specific thing. People will watch it if they know you and enjoy your art, or if they like whatever you're drawing. Tutorials, this applies to anyone who's using the thing. About you, this tends to like the stuff with this is like a weird category, because it's like it's the female VTuber buff. A lot of people are looking for new VTubers to watch, and if they see someone that they think has a cute model, then they will watch it. Yeah. Oh yeah, TikTok also is fucking weird and will give you fake push. Like, they'll push your early content. And then after that, it puts you into the real algorithm, and then no one sees it.
The 25k views range, and the videos where I yap about myself or my model do really well too. If you combine those stats further and look at the IQR by video type per platform, you can also see that YouTube really likes those yappy videos, and TikTok really likes tutorials.
Okay, that's interesting. I would not have expected that.
Overall, my statistics on
Obviously, I expect the yappy stuff to make more sense on YouTube, but I wouldn't have thought the tutorials would have done like your best on TikTok.
every site skyrocketed. YouTube received a huge boost from this video in particular, and I also had one huge
Woo! That's okay. Oh, it's a short. Ah, okay, that makes sense.
banger on Instagram as well, although I think this one popped off for very
This is what I mean about the female VTuber buff. You just give yourself big tits. Easy win. Oh yeah, people aren't gonna stick around, but it will give you a boost in viewership on that one bit of content.
very specific reasons. As a matter of fact,
Also, this is Instagram? Yes, this is Instagram. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. What do people use Instagram for? Workouts? Cute girls. That's basically it. Or cute boys, whatever you're into.
I actually checked those specific reasons in terms of stats as well, and yeah, having two huge personalities, it impacts
Wait.
in terms of stats as well, and yeah, having two
Views for boobs versus no. See, if you're gonna go no boobs, you have to go the complete opposite direction.
two huge personalities, it impacts your views. It definitely does. But what does this have anything to do with posting every day? Well, posting every day got me to this point. Before I posted every day, I was getting no views at all. I mean, take a look at this graph. This very terrible, not optimized, awful graph. Let's just look at it. Just ignore how bad it is right now. It's my views per video over time on a logarithmic scale. You can see that after about a month of hanging out in Club 100 and Club 1000, the bouncer for Club 10K and 100K just sort of said, yeah, f it, let's let this guy in.
There is something weird. I don't know how the algorithm works, but there is a thing that I have noticed on my own content where when you break a threshold, it's kind of like it moves you into a higher tier of viewership, right? Like my videos will average a certain amount, and then when like 1 or 2 videos break a certain number, then that becomes my new baseline, basically. Even though my sub count doesn't rise to reflect it, it seems like the videos get pushed to a larger group because of that testing. I guess it kind of makes sense, right? If YouTube can demonstrate that the video is doing well with a certain audience, then it will be more likely to push the audience. That's my thought, at least.
Sure, I don't care anymore. And I genuinely feel like this is an endurance test from social media sites, because after that point, I stayed in those higher view zones, except for when I forgot to post and I got sick and my eyes got so swollen for like a week that I couldn't do anything. That's right here on the graph. So what does posting every day actually do for you? First of all, it builds endurance. I knew I had to get this done every week, and it made me more motivated to prep myself during the week so I could clear out my Sunday faster. Over time, I got faster at scripting, editing, and making thumbnails. Plus, I gained the ability to work for longer since I was able to work quicker as well. It also builds endurance for your social media itself, because the more aggressively you post, the more likely they are to let the bouncer guy, let you win club 100K. You know? I think you just have to be annoying. That's my motto. Instead of dropping one thing every now and then before leaving into the void, you're telling the social media sites that you're there to stay, almost like you're forming a trust bond with them. They trust you to post, and they reward you for doing so as you continue that habit. The result is some random bullshit that I post will get views regardless now. So while
actually, same things happened on Twitter, really. I've had a couple of posts that like randomly popped off, and since that happened, a lot of my kind of just random little posts have also gotten way more attention than they otherwise would have as well.
I wasn't really fortunate enough to have some random trash video pop off, I have had enough endurance now to where I do have the ability to post garbage, and it, at the very least, doesn't instantaneously die in the algorithm. Posting every day also forces you to get better. If you have a numerical value for your post goals and you can't think of enough ideas to meet that number, too bad.
At the same time as that, I don't know if she's going to mention it, that the number, if you focus on it too much, can be a downer. So on YouTube, it'll tell you like how your latest video is doing, like out of 10. My latest video is 2 out of 10, so it is the second highest ranking video out of the last 10 videos. When you get a couple of 10 out of 10s in a row, those are not good days.
You gotta put...
Granted, if you're uploading every single day, it's 1 a day. If you get a 10 out of 10 and you're like a Michael Reeves, that's not a pleasant time. 1 video every 6 months, worst video of the last 10, fuck. Granted, Michael Reeves is also a millionaire and doesn't need to work a day for the rest of his life, but even so, you get my point.
So if you gotta post a cube edit with your face on it 1 week, that's just what you gotta do. And somehow even that is still beneficial because it gets you used to figuring out how to give yourself break content that's easier to produce, and how to balance that with higher quality content or just different styles of content. If you want to produce exclusively high quality content, then you have to build yourself up to doing that. And I feel like I've really honed in on it now. I find myself taking more notes for ideas during the week, randomly planning bits of a script, or tackling ideas earlier in the week because I just want to take off my workload for later. I've truly just gotten better at the whole process, and not just the meat of like editing and scripting, but also just balancing everything with my life and polishing up those smaller tasks like short script rating and thumbnail ideas. And lastly, it builds your confidence. If you do what I did and ignore having a true niche, you'll end up just making random stuff. And some will be good, some will be bad, but you'll find out what you truly like making, which is the most important thing. More so, you'll find out what you're confident at making. And you'll also build confidence for the things that you aren't so sure about. Plus, you might even find a niche by doing that. That's why I personally say ignore a niche at first, because your executive dysfunction will use it as a way to keep you from making...
That, I think, is a good... I actually do agree with that. A lot of people start doing videos with the intention of popping off. And if you... There are cases where this works, right? There are absolutely cases with this work where, you know, we've seen channels where someone uploads their first video and it gets fucking 1 million views. But most of the time, even if you spend like 3 months on a video, it's probably not going to do that well. For all the videos we've seen where there's 1 million views on it and it's their first video, there's 10,000 videos of the same quality that no one gives a shit about. But eventually people will find it. But I think early on, your best bet is to just try things. Even if you have an idea of talking, like if you want to make an anime channel, speaking of trying things, there's a couple of early videos on the channel where I was doing a fucking bit of anything. Try it out. See how it goes. If you like it, hey, do it. I think a lot of people really try to chase a trend. And the problem is with chasing a trend is once that trend dies, no one gives a shit, right? Great fucking phenomenal example. How many of the YouTubers that popped off during COVID Among Us do you remember? There's one that comes to mind because he's a bit of a dog. That would be Saikuno. But most of the other like streamers and YouTubers that popped off during COVID because of Among Us, no one gives a shit about. Because they were not popular for being what they are, for being who they are. They were popular because of the game they played. A lot of this happened with like early League stuff as well. A lot of the big Call of Duty creators, the ones that like merged off into other things like PewDiePie, like Keemstar. These are names you still know, but the ones that kept doing COD for like a long, long time, like say Wings of Redemption or a Woody's Gamer Tag or White Boy 7th Street. The Only Use Me Blade, who stuck around in that niche for way too long once it died down. Is Corpse... No, Corpse got bullied off the internet because he did a face reveal and all of his fans hated him because they had this idea of what he looked like and he didn't look like that. And then all hell broke loose, basically. But yeah, my point being, if you're chasing a trend and you don't have any value outside the trend, eventually your time will come. And if you don't manage to build an audience that exists for the content you're making and not the trend, that will be the end of the channel. A lot of channels manage to come back out of this, right? Jesse Cox is a fucking great example. Jesse Cox has been around for... Fuck, I don't even know. Oh, who fucking knows how long Jesse's been around for? He was an early WoW creator. Minecraft is the same boat. Minecraft popped off during COVID as well. A lot of those Minecraft creators no one even knows exists anymore. But Jesse Cox early on, he did WoW stuff. He did like StarCraft stuff and all that. Then he kind of like shifted into this Let's Play stuff. And for a long time, he was in like that Let's Play sort of collab niche. And that died down for a long time. Eventually, he rebuilt an audience. But you can see that the size of the channel, like the number of subs, does not line up with the number of views the channel is still getting. You just understand your audience. If your audience is silly people who would hate you for a face reveal, Corpse was a very specific case. It's a very similar case with Sea Dog, with Mr. Connor Dog. Early Connor, he's talked about this before. It was very much that same sort of, like when he was doing the fucking Black Butler stuff. He had a very high female audience. When he stopped doing that, his stuff fucking died because they were not fans of his content. They were fans of the sexy Black Butler voice. Yes, the Sebastian voice. Yes. Minecraft content before Co. See, Minecraft's been through dips and rises as well. Yeah, the 93%. Ko's an interesting creator. He's also been through dips. Ko's sort of definitely built back up a new audience in the past couple of years.
Content when you could just post anything and find a niche later. Just saying. It will solidify what kind of content does best for you, and it will help you feel better about making that content. And the best part, by far, is that some of your shit will pop off. Like this video of mine where I'm banging a companion cube around in Portal. This video did really well, like better than some of my scripted content. And while I could totally get in my feels about the effort versus the results of a video, I just want to be happy that sometimes people like silly little...
You can also grow on controversy, especially political stuff. Okay, we're going to side tangent from this video for a moment. Political content is a very dangerous thing to even address. Because if you acknowledge political content to begin with, you're going to put yourself into a situation where people will hate you simply for existing. And this recently happened with Mint. Mint knows that she's been around for a long time. She knows not to touch this. But there was the whole, like, Metal Gear political stuff, and people wanted her to, like, have an opinion on American politics because she said something... I don't remember exactly what she said when she was playing Metal Gear. Something about, like... It doesn't fucking matter. It's something stupid. But even if you're going to say you're apolitical... The problem is there are people out there that take apolitical to mean you don't agree with them. And it will be, oh, well, if I don't agree with you, therefore you're a bad person. People call her a fake Metal Gear fan. But not just that, people also, like, disagree. There are certain people out there who are unable to enjoy content unless you agree with every single opinion they have. So it's best to just never even acknowledge the fact that you have an opinion. Don't even say you're apolitical, just don't even address the comment. Asmund is a good example. He feeds on the hate and gets more. See, if you're going to do political content, you have to lean into political content. Asmund is a great example. Hassan's a good example. Channels like that which lean into it, they will do well because of it. But you can't, like, dip your feet into it. Political content is one of those, like, third rail things. You do not touch the third rail unless you're gonna just fucking go all in. Nothing good comes out of it, sort of just, like, dipping your toes in. Anyway, back to the video.
Because they can relate to you and not because you're trying really hard. That is the true content creation buff. When you post a dumb video and people like it, it feels good. So does posting every day get you follows and views? Yeah, totally. But it also makes you better at what you do, more confident, and more efficient. And as a bonus, I've also gotten better at puppeting my VTuber just because of the sheer amount of content that I've been putting out. And maybe, if you do this for long enough, you can also get that extra $200 for groceries. And I actually did that. Well, close to it anyway.
Wow.
I hope you see this as a motivation to push yourself and try to post
Politics
every
is all,
day.
and I'm pretty
if you're
much
not the best with idea making, I'll be posting a weekly VTuber video ideas list on my Twitter for the next month. So check that out as a place to start if you're feeling intimidated. After this, I'll be back to my regular tutorial content, so put your thinking caps on, I guess. I'll see you in the next one, and remember, when in doubt, make a cube edit.
Cube! That was a good video. I like that. Politics is all or none. Pretty much. Pretty much. Actually, yeah, Lunduk is a great example, actually. If Lunduk puts out a video and it's not, this thing is woke, this thing is... If the video is not, this thing is woke or this thing is anti-woke, his audience doesn't give a shit about it. You can watch this in go look through all of his posts, and when he does not talk, when he doesn't put any sort of political spin on it, no one gives a fuck about the post he puts out. And that's why every single thing has some sort of political spin to it, even if there is no politics whatsoever. Oh, Futurama clip? Let's have a look.
What are your thoughts on this momentous occasion? Your neutralness?
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
I hate these filthy neutrals, Kif. With enemies, you know where they stand, but with neutrals, who knows? It sickens me. This is Zap Brannigan of the good ship, Planet Express ship. I come swinging the olive branch of peace.
Should we trust him, your neutralness?
All I know is my gut says maybe.
I do love Futurama. What a fucking great series that is. Another good example, another similar similar one is Futurama. Political parties. Yeah, Jack Johnson and John Jackson. Yeah, this is the one.
It's time someone had the courage to stand up and say, I'm against those things that everybody hates. Now, I respect my opponent. I think he's a good man. But quite frankly, I agree with everything he just said.
These are the candidates? They sound like clones. Wait a minute. They are clones.
Don't let their identical DNA fool you. They differ on some key issues.
I say your 3-cent titanium tax goes too far. And I say your 3-cent titanium tax doesn't go too far enough.
I love Futurama, man. Futurama is such a legendary series.